Hello everyone, my name is James Layton and I'm here to give an organ demonstration for my Music Literature 1 class. I'll be demonstrating the 2013 Martin Posse organ of St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Anchorage, Kentucky, where I have been a member since I was 5 years old. I've been increasingly involved in the music department here over the years, singing in the choir since I was about 7 and learning the organ since I was about 16. This particular instrument is perfect for the scope of our class. It is built very much in the Baroque style. Many newer and larger organs around the world are electrified with detached consoles. When the organist pulls a stop or presses a key, the console sends an electronic signal for those pipes to receive air and play. This organ, on the other hand, is completely mechanical. Whenever I pull a stop or press a key, metal wires called trackers are engaged, which physically allow air into the pipes. Another important difference between this organ and others is the absence of pistons. On electrified consoles, the organist has access to lots of small buttons called pistons, which can be preset to instantly activate any number of stop combinations called registrations. You'll see no such buttons here. Each stop has to be pulled manually, making it difficult for the organist to manage alone. A second person, called a registrant, is often required. I am called upon to do this for our church organist almost every week. A final important difference between this organ and others is the couplers. These devices, activated by additional foot pedals, allow the organist to combine the stops of several different keyboards and play them simultaneously with one keyboard. On electrified consoles, the difference would be easily heard, but the key action would not change. When a coupler is engaged on this instrument, the key the organist presses on one keyboard also physically brings down the corresponding key on whichever keyboard it is coupled to. The only electrified element to this instrument is its blower. Baroque organs would have to be hand-pumped, whereas this one has a blower in the basement of the church that constantly supplies air. Apart from that, this is exactly the type of instrument that Bach would have played. This organ has 2 keyboards played by the hands, called manuals, and 1 pedal board. The lower manual is called the grate and serves as the primary keyboard to play with the hands. The upper manual is called the swell and has a unique feature. The other foot pedal you see opens and closes shutters which enable the organist to control dynamics, giving this manual its name. Regarding the number of keyboards, every organ is different. The smallest organs just have 1, and the largest organ in the world has 7. This enables the organist to use a wide variety of sounds in endless combinations. The first thing I'll demonstrate is the different types of stops and what each one does. The different stops offer a variety of different sounds for the organist to use, either alone or in various combinations. In addition to its name, each stop is also labeled with a number. This refers to the length of the pipes it corresponds with, which determines how low or high the pitch is. Obviously, the pipes are all different lengths, so the number on the stop does not refer to all pipes in that division, only the lowest one. The 8-foot stop is the standard. Middle C on an 8-foot stop is the same as the middle C you would hear on a piano. A 4-foot stop sounds an octave above that, and a 2-foot stop another octave above. Also important is the 16-foot stop, which sounds an octave below middle C. The 2 2/3 foot stop, which sounds an octave and a fifth above, and the 1 3/5 foot stop, which sounds 2 octaves and a third above. Notice that I've been playing the same key the whole time, even though the pitch is changing. These different stops allow the organist to control dynamic and overall sonority and even play a whole chord with one key. There are 4 classes of stops on any organ. I'll describe each one, then play a short excerpt to demonstrate it. First, we have the principals. This sound is unique to the organ and is likely the first sound you think of when you think of organ music. These stops are perfect to use when accompanying hymns like this one. Next, we have my personal favorite stops, the reeds. This class includes stops like the trumpet, the dulcian, and the Posaune in the pedal, which is German for trombone. Other organs sometimes have stops called crumhorn and oboe, both named after Renaissance instruments that we discussed in class. These stops are perfect for playing fanfares and, of course, the familiar Baroque trumpet tunes. And now for something a little softer, the flutes. These stops are often made of wood rather than metal to give them a more soothing sound. And finally, the strings. This particular organ only has one, but it definitely achieves its intended effect. It's called viola, which is usually the same sound as the gamba, named after one of the Renaissance instruments we discussed in class. The strings and the flutes work beautifully together as well. And now for some common stop combinations. A unique feature of the organ is that it can play a solo and an accompaniment at the same time, using different registrations. Typically, the solo is played with one manual and the accompaniment on another, with the pedal providing a bass foundation. Commonly used with such registrations is the tremulant effect, which gives the sound some vibrato, and the Zimbelstern, German for cymbal star, which adds some high-pitched chimes for a percussive yet ethereal effect. Here are two short examples of solo and accompaniment, one with tremulant and one with Zimbelstern. Finally, we have my personal favorite combination, the full organ. This classic combination uses pretty much every stop available. To demonstrate, I'll play the endings of two pieces from the French Romantic style. Pieces of this style almost always end on big, loud, high-pitched, and long chords, so they're a perfect way to show off the full capability of any organ. I hope you enjoyed the stop demonstrations. Now I'll play some full-length pieces of Baroque repertoire which use some of the compositional devices that we've discussed in class. I'll start with two liturgical examples. We discussed the concept of the Lutheran chorale and its role in the early Protestant church. It was common for Baroque composers to take these Renaissance tunes and harmonize them, and sometimes even orchestrate them. The harmonized versions are still used as hymns in most denominations. The Lutheran hymn tune, Herzlich tut mich verlangen, or O Sacred Head Sore Wounded, has become the standard chorale to represent the Passion of Jesus and is used as a hymn throughout Holy Week. I'll play the original Lutheran tune, followed by Johann Sebastian Bach's harmonization of it. While still in the liturgical state of mind, I'll play an example of a chorale prelude. This piece, also by Bach, is an organ composition based on another Lutheran chorale, Liebster Jesu, wir sind hier. Once again, I'll play the original Lutheran tune, followed by Bach's composition. Next, I'll play some concert-type pieces, including examples of the prelude, the fugue, and the toccata. The Baroque prelude is an all-encompassing piece in no particular form that was often used as an opener to a service or recital. This example, Prelude in C major by Dietrich Buxtehude, uses a variety of registrations and gives the feet almost as much to play as the hands, also typical of the time period. Preludes were almost always followed by corresponding fugues, intricately structured pieces with a repeating subject. The feet were not excluded and had to play the subject no matter how intricate. Bach was particularly known for his virtuosic pedal playing and writing. To give a brief example, I'll play the subject of his fugue in D major, first in my hand and then in my feet. You may have noticed that I'm wearing special shoes to play the organ. They are built especially for pedal playing. They are thick at the heel and thin at the toe. They also have suede on the bottom rather than rubber to allow for smooth motion between the pedals. You'll see in this excerpt why special shoes are necessary. That whole piece is a little out of my league at the moment, unfortunately, but I'll play a simpler example of a Baroque fugue. This short fugue in G minor was originally attributed to Bach, but recent scholarship has determined that it was more likely composed by his student, Johann Ludwig Krebs. While more youthful than most of Bach's compositions, this one has clear similarities to his style and is still perfectly relevant to the Baroque style. Please enjoy this recording from several months ago when I played the piece as a postlude during one of our services. The toccata is arguably the most virtuosic type of keyboard composition. Derived from the Italian verb toccare, meaning to touch, the toccata does just that. The name refers to the touching of the keys, often in rapid succession at a fast tempo. The pedals were not excluded here either. To give a brief example, I'll play two pedal excerpts from Bach's Toccata in F major, in which the feet play solos that are just as fast and intricate as what the hands play before and after them. piece is also out of my league at the moment, unfortunately, but I'll end with another Bach toccata that is just as renowned and crowd-pleasing. It hardly needs any introduction. I'll let you guess what it is. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found this demonstration enjoyable and informative. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or are interested in learning more about the instrument. Thanks again, and have a great day.